Hello, and in this video I would like to demonstrate this beautiful krama of the lotus pose, or padmasana. Here's what Ramaswamy writes in his complete book of vinyasa yoga about this posture. The lotus posture, padmasana, is considered by conventional yogis to be the most important seated posture. Mention of this posture can be found not merely in old yogic texts, but also in epics and other very ancient books. However, many people who do contemporary yoga do not like this posture. Many consider it boring and static and even can be painful. Without much emphasis these days in the practice of breathing exercises, this posture appears unimportant to most people. But if this pose is done according to vinyasa krama, where movements that progressively lead to the posture are done, followed by various elaborations, subsequent counter poses, and the return sequence, it can be a lot more fun. Further, by going through the process of vinyasa krama, the chances of performing the posture without pain for a long time are increased considerably. It is a great posture to be in as a yogi and practice some of the subtle aspects of yoga, such as pranayama and the meditation. Please pay attention to your breathing, which should be synchronized with all the movements. Take at least 5 seconds for each inhalation and exhalation, unless otherwise specified, depending on the individual's needs. All right. I'll demonstrate this posture and all the different variations. It's nice to do this posture with both sides, but for time's sake, I'll just start with my right. So my right leg is Now here is the first movement. And this posture is really nice, because when you do this, it really helps to open up the back of the shoulders. Now here's the next variation. You pay attention to the positioning of my hands. I'm pressing my occipital notch into my hands. Now from this side. Now to the right. To the left. From behind the back, which actually is traditional padmasana. To see the positioning of the hands, in time they grab the big toes. And it really helps to open up the chest. Another variation. So you see the positioning of my hands, I'm lifting the legs. Here's the counter posture to all the forward bending movements we just did. Coming to supine. If one would like, they can come into shoulder stand. Next vinyasa. Lion's breath. Now I'll demonstrate the sequence, repeating it again, but we're starting with my left leg up first. And this is something, and this time I'm only going to take like 3 or 4 of them, and I can show it can be done in, since it's vinyasa, and you could repeat this like 3 or 4 times. First movement. Second movement. Third movement. Fourth movement. Fifth movement, up counter posture. Coming to supine. Arms overhead. Forgot to show this variation. I can grab the toes. Back to arms overhead. Nice place to engage the bandhas. To prone. Bandhas.
transition to Shavasana.
And for time's sake, come up, and now I'll show you. Now look how easily I can sit in this posture, right or left. I'm doing all those different vinyasas, variations, now into the subtler aspects, so I'm not going to demonstrate, but you could sit and do pranayama and stuff comfortably without your knees or ankles bothering you. And it becomes a very nice posture, because if you look at from the side, the positioning of the spine with this posture, it takes all the weight out of the lower back. I'll show one Ujjayi. So the purpose of this video was to demonstrate, again, this beautiful method of vinyasa krama, how many different variations there are and how many different sequences for whatever the person's abilities are and for what the individual needs. Ramaswamy once said, he says that this vinyasa krama yoga system is like a yoga supermarket. There is no, like I know a lot of other teachers have made standardized practices of yoga, but that was not Krishnamacharya's teachings. Krishnamacharya was a Shavant. He understood a lot, even more than just the Hatha Yoga, but he knew how to adapt it to each individual's needs, which is an art in itself. So my purpose of showing all these different variations is just to show how many different ways we can do a posture to get to an end goal, to be able to sit comfortably for the more subtle aspects of yoga, like pranayama and meditation. Here's a nice hand position for calming the mind. And you would stay like that for maybe 5 minutes after your pranayama. Also, as I forgot to say, this posture, this Paschimottanasana, is very good for the Kriya Kapalabhati because of the positioning of the heels and for the lower abdominal. But I won't demonstrate that. I want to make it short and sweet. And by the way, I hope that people watching this video understand, when they watch these videos, I was never flexible. I have friends that I used to wrestle with. They will tell you, my coaches used to make fun of me. I was an asthmatic. I was stiff as you wouldn't believe. This system of yoga changed my life, and my purpose of sharing these videos is so that hopefully other people see them and find interest in this. I don't consider myself a yoga teacher. I consider myself a yoga educator, because we are always learning. And with this stuff, this science is vast. But before I end, I'd like to end with a prayer, since it is a breathing-based system. And last one, I'm very interested into the Lakota language, and the saying of the word is mitakoye oyasi, which means all my relations, and the interconnectedness of us all with nature, with one another, with everything in this universe. And I pray for peace and well-being for humanity and for people to look for the light. Thank you so much.